Thank you for having your event here. We're happy to have you, and a lot of cool things happening in this building, and I'll be quick so I have you spend ahead of you. But so this is the University Innovation Center for students, staff, faculty, anyone involved in the Vanderbilt community. And everything that happens here, the students don't receive credit for, but so that just means the ones we do get are super passionate about pushing the edge of their interests and their passions. And so we help with hands-on leadership. We've got the makerspace. We've got Alex here who teaches an amazing fiber arts program. We've got social innovation, which is the involved with. And so a lot of the programming we do is just kind of taking the interest of these students and creating a program around it to gather more and foster those interests. But I'll keep it brief. Thank you for coming. Happy to have you. And let's see what you guys got today.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. This is so awesome to see you all. I'm Elaine Boyd, president of TWIG for 2023, and we are in person, so yay! And we've got a lot of people by Zoom, so we really appreciate you all being here. And I want us to give a hand clap to Dan, who has been fabulous. Dan is standing in for Jacqueline Matupi, who many of you know. Jacqueline is the reason we're in this fabulous space. She's in South Africa right now, and Dan was gracious enough to really help us set up everything. So we really appreciate him. And I'm going to turn it over to the other fabulous person I want to recognize, Dr. Jen Tribble.
Welcome to our first meeting of the year. We are doing this a little differently than we ever have before, so I hope things work seamlessly. But for those of you online, we are showing you the people here in person. And then we've spotlighted our speaker, Amber Greene, who I'll introduce in one moment. She's going to go through a quick presentation, and then we'll have time for Q&A. So for the folks online, if you want to put your question in the chat, and then we'll read it out loud when we are done with Amber's presentation, so everyone here can hear the question as well. So we are incredibly excited to have Amber joining us. Amber is the solid waste director at the West Tennessee Regional Recycling Hub, the Chester County Solid Waste and Recycling Department, and the executive director of Keep Chester County Beautiful. She started Keep Chester County Beautiful in 2015 and has 19 years of experience in solid waste and recycling. She is passionate about recycling, the environment, and litter prevention, and volunteering in her community. Amber graduated from Bethel College with a Bachelor of Science in Business Management. She is currently serving on the Tennessee Recycling Coalition Board, the Tennessee Solid Waste Directors Association Board, and Tennessee SWANA Board. So Amber, without further ado, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you so much. So I appreciate you guys having me to speak, and I'm sorry I could not be there in person. And also, not in my bio, I have twin 13-year-old daughters that do cheer and soccer, and then I've been married going on 19 years. So I thought I would share that as well. The twins keep me super, super busy. Do I just share my screen, and then hopefully you guys can see my presentation?
Yeah, if you want to try sharing it, and if not, I'll pull it up for you.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Okay, can you see it?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm located in rural West Tennessee. It's about 70 miles from Memphis and about 25 miles from Jackson, Tennessee, if everyone's familiar with those areas. We run 3 departments from my office. We run the West Tennessee Regional Recycling Hub, Chester County Solid Waste, and Keep Chester County Beautiful. So I'm going to go through each one of those and kind of what they look like for us. So the West Tennessee Regional Recycling Hub, which is on the screen, we started this in 2010 with the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. We wrote $6.5 million in grants to start this program. We partner with 13 cities and counties, 300 businesses, and about 25 schools and colleges to process single stream recycling. The building was set up, and you can see in the pictures, there's 2 sides of the building. One side, we take cardboard from county zone and bale it and process it, and the other side is set up strictly for single stream. And in 2010, TWIG did a lot of meetings with every county, and they had the idea to do one in West, one in Middle, and one in East Tennessee to help rural counties start recycling programs. Because the thing about being in West Tennessee is we don't have a lot of resources for recycling and solid waste infrastructure. So this program has helped all of your smaller counties like McNairy, Adamsville, Hardeman County, Hardin County, Lexington, Henderson County start recycling programs that they never would have been able to start unless you have a place to process the material. So that's kind of how the hub and spoke got started. We have a 180-foot sort line, a disc screen, cross belt, and an eddy current that we use on our line that pulls off paper, plastic, aluminum. And then we have inmate labor from the jail that we use. They get a day for a day, and they learn new skills like forklift, skid loader driving. So when they actually get out of jail, they go out into the world, and then they can actually get a good job because they've learned those skills here. So we use inmate labor to pick on our sort line. And then we have 4 full-time employees that run that building. One of the other departments we have here is Chester County Solid Waste. I oversee 5 convenience centers. We have a total of 32 employees for both of those departments. I have attendants that run the county convenience centers. Those are set up for recycling drop off, trash drop off, metal, furniture, batteries. We recycle batteries, pallets, e-waste here also. Our recycling hub and spoke is set up strictly for single stream, which is paper, plastic, aluminum, cardboard. It's basically your 4 basic things to recycle. And then for Chester County, we recycle e-waste, pallets, batteries, glass, that kind of thing. That building is not set up to recycle glass or e-waste or none of that for all of the counties that we serve. And we serve about 300,000 people through the West Tennessee Regional Recycling Hub. So that's a huge area. And so Collierville even brings their recycling here in a 53-foot semi, and we process it in the West Tennessee Regional Recycling Hub building. We process right at 7,000 tons a year in that building. And at the solid waste department, we handle about 8,000 tons of trash. And for that county, that's a lot because we only have 17,000 people here. So that's a really good volume for the amount of people we have here and the size that we are. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide. This is what our convenience centers look like. This is the bigger one. Since we're so rural, we have tiny centers. I know most of you are familiar with the convenience centers in your county. So I'm going to go to the next slide. Keep Chester County Beautiful, like in the bio, was started in 2015. I've seen a huge need for us to have an affiliate with Keep Tennessee Beautiful and Keep America Beautiful. There was a lot of litter in this county, and we oversee the litter grant in this department also. So we have a litter crew that goes around and picks up litter on Chester County roadways. So I've seen a huge need for Keep Chester County Beautiful to be started in this county because we had a lot of litter and a lot of illegal dump sites, and we were handling those through the solid waste department anyway. So we started Keep Chester County Beautiful in 2015. We partner with a lot of schools and colleges to do cleanups. We partner with the community. We probably do 4 to 5 volunteer cleanups a year now. And then the litter crew runs their route every day of the year to pick litter up. And I'm going to talk about the pictures later that's on this slide. I'm going to go through our education and outreach program next. One of the things I've learned with running a MRF here in this county, and I'm sure every other county, you have to have an outstanding education and outreach program because you have people that are working 9 to 5 that really want to do the right thing and recycle, and they're trying to raise a family, and they just want to know if the styrofoam cup is recyclable or not. So we focus on education and outreach here a lot. We have a huge program. That way it helps residents understand what to recycle. We partner with the other 13 cities and counties that bring their recycling material here, and we all use the same slogan, it's volunteer to recycle. So all of the 13 cities and counties we partner with, it's consistent on what we recycle, and everyone understands. We all use the same educational info on our websites and social media accounts. And then all the flyers that we give out with the recycling carts curbside have the same info on it. In 2018, I received a TWIG grant for 6,000 recycling carts. Those carts were deployed out to the city of Henderson, city of Adamsville, city of Lexington, and city of Selmer to help those rural counties have the curbside recycling. Because back then we used blue bags. Blue bags was a good way to get rural recycling started, but we wanted to get away from the bags. So we wrote the grants for carts and deployed those out. So now most of the material we get in at the recycling hub is not in bags. It's just single stream that we can dump on the floor, and it's easier for us to process. So the next slide is the education and outreach program. We offer 20 different programs here for Chester County and the counties we partner with. So one of the big things we do, we have tours here. All 13 counties have been here. Their mayors have been here. Their commissioners or aldermen have been here. A lot of other elected officials have been here to see what we do. We have a classroom. So in 2018, the Tennessee Department of Transportation rolled out a grant, and I applied for it, and we got almost $300,000 to start the West Tennessee Education and Observation Classroom. And you'll see that going through these slides. We educate about 3,500 kids a year pre-COVID. After COVID, this last year, we are really getting back into having more students here in Tarrant. I think we educated about 1,200 kids last year. And so hopefully we will get back up to the 3,000 kids that we were educating that were coming here for field trips. We do adult tours. We had Westar leadership here to tour not too long ago. And then our leadership class from this county and other counties come as well from the chamber to tour. Volunteer to Recycle slogan was started in 2018 to help increase recycling in rural West Tennessee and help residents learn how to recycle right. We were getting tons of calls before we had social media account, I guess probably 15 years ago. So we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where we try to help residents understand what to recycle. We also have a fun mascot. His name is Benny. One of the things that I learned starting the recycling in all the schools that we have a program in all the schools where we pick up paper, cardboard, aluminum, and plastic. We have 7 schools here because we are a smaller community. The kids, you can't teach recycling unless you have the recycling program in your schools. So once I set that up, I started going into the schools because back then I was a recycling coordinator and started talking to the kids about what recycling is. And then they take that information home to their parents. And then that's how you get your adults to recycle more. So one of the fun things that we did is Benny, he is our mascot. He will go into the classrooms with the students, high fives, hugs, and teach them about what in his recycling bin. And there's some more fun pictures. We take him to the high school football games. We've been to 3 different counties football games to try to teach the audience and the kids there, because high school kids are hard. So we've been trying to figure out ways to get into the school to teach them about recycling. He goes to the libraries and events. We have barbecue festivals, the Strawberry Festival that we go to. On our website, so we have chestercountyn.org, and I'll share that at the end of this slide. We have a website that has an educational toolkit on it. It's the same things that you see in our classroom that I'm about to show you. So teachers can bring students to the classroom, they go through it, then they can get online and print our toolkit off. And another thing we have on there is our video. TDEC gave us an education outreach grant in 2018 to do a lot of education for us and other counties. So we have this video of what the MRF looks like inside of it. It starts at a house, takes you all the way through the process of picking up curbside and bringing it to the West Tennessee Regional Recycling Hub, and then what it looks like to process it. And the link will be on our website if anyone wants to watch it. And this was super fun to make. We got to go into schools and talk to students, and we had someone local that let us use their house to film the video. And then you'll see a lot of our mayors and elected officials in the video as well. The next slide is the education and observation classroom. This was started in 2018. The classroom is set up. So we have 10 interactive STEM stations that go with the school's curriculum. So when they come in, they learn about landfills, vermicomposting, litter prevention, recycling. They can see the operations of how we run the MRF. And then we talk about pollution and water pollution as well. And we have different activity stations that the kids go through, which is on this slide. We have a recycle game that they play. We have tubes that they drop balls down that's made out of recycling. The robot in the picture is made out of recycled metal. And some of our high school kids made that recycled metal robot, which I'll talk about in some other slides.
And I got a new internet provider, so.
This is some more stations in the classroom. This is the ball drop that's blue. And you can see the students playing with it. And then we have a landfill sign. And then the picture in the middle with the robot or the knight is we have, every year we do a program with our high school. So since I run the solid waste department, we get a lot of recycled metal. So the welding teacher will come out here and go through the bin and pick out certain pieces of metal that he thinks his classroom is going to do well welding on, and they make some kind of sculpture or statue. So the first year we did this, that is what they came up with, and it was a contest. And since then, we have been putting those sculptures in our community, and we have a big unveiling of the sculpture and have all of our elected officials. We plant flowers in the park. We just did a butterfly last year, and I think there's a picture of the guitar in here, and we'll get to that as we go through these slides. This is just more pictures of the classroom. We have a landfill model that the kids can see how the landfill levels work and the plastic liner and how it contaminates if it leaks. And then vermicomposting. You would be surprised at how many kids we have that actually hasn't ever seen worms. So we teach a backyard composting. We do school presentations. We actually go into the schools. We have a mobile classroom that you will see on down in these slides. We take the mobile classroom to all of the schools. It has a few of the stations you've just seen that's in our main classroom. And we walk through the mobile classroom with a group of students, and we'll spend all day at a school. And we went to Kaywood Elementary, which is in Lexington, this spring. And I think we talked to about 1,200 students and walked them through our mobile classroom and teachers. We do preschool presentations. We try to hit every age group with our education outreach program, even adults and senior citizens. We read books to kids. The best thing that I've ever done is take a bag of recycling to a preschool and dump it on the floor in front of the students. And they think it's great because they get to sort the stuff in the bins, and then they think you're dumping trash on the ground. So you get a lot of, oh my goodness, you just dumped a bag of trash on the floor in front of me. And they're super cute. We have a little robot that's made out of recycling that we take as well, so we can teach them what to recycle. And this is just elementary presentations in elementary schools. We have the litter magician. I'm not sure if some of you are familiar with him. He comes in every other year through the litter grant. The litter grant pays for him to come to all of our schools, and he talks about litter prevention in this county. And his main goal is to teach kids not to litter. And then they in turn go home and talk to their parents, because they've seen daddy throw a bottle out the window, and they educate their parents on not littering. We do middle school presentations also. They're a fun group of kids. Our junior high school has a garden in the center of it, and we have helped them set up worm beds so they can compost their cafeteria food. They also have a school garden that we help them with. They have a butterfly garden and a bee pollinator garden. They have a contest every year where we give them recycling bins and they decorate them. And then they have a lot of campus beautification. They have flower beds and different programs that we do with the junior high and the high school. And this is the junior high garden. It's some of their composting bins and their recycling bins. We do contests with the high school students, the welding contest. We do a recycled Christmas ornament contest. So every year at Christmas, we will have students go through their recycling at home, and they will pick out something and make an ornament. And we put a Christmas tree up at the courthouse, and then we hang all their ornaments on it. And a lot of them are super, super cute. You would be surprised at what they come up with. The welding contest is mostly for high school students, and I kind of talked about that, so I'm going to skip through this slide. But we do provide those welding school students because we work with TCAT on that project also, which is the Tennessee College of Applied Technology. We give them welding helmets, gloves, or whatever they need for their program when they actually do this welding project in partnership with us. And here's some of the art that they have. I think the minions on the grill in the top left-hand corner of my screen is super cute. The bottom is a scorpion, and then there's the knight, and then you can see some of the other stuff they did. And this was just the first year they did this program. It's absolutely become amazing to see what these kids, they're so talented and what they come up with. This guitar was dedicated to Eddie Arnold here in Henderson at our Wi-Fi park. And the students actually made it from recycled pipe that the city of Henderson did not need anymore. They had used pieces of it. So the students took that and made the guitar out of it, and they did an amazing job with it. The one on the right side of the screen is another guitar that they did, and they used mailboxes. You can see they used bicycle tires and the different stuff in it. And that is also in Henderson. It's super cute. And this talks about our recycled Christmas ornament contest. And here is the pictures of the students and some of the stuff that they create. They take toilet paper rolls and make a Santa or a reindeer out of it. There's a lot of light bulbs that come through. Before COVID, we had about 300 kids participate in this. And now after COVID, it's probably about 50 to 75 kids that participate in this between the 3 schools that we do it with. So every year we do our Christmas parade. We decided one year to take all the stuff that we were getting out here that people were throwing away and to try to make a Christmas float out of it. So I had a lot of people help with this float. It's like a farmer's tank, chemical tank on the front that someone was throwing away. So we took it and painted it. There's a lot of cardboard holding this train together. All the Christmas lights were lights that people had thrown away at one of our convenience centers, and we sat down and replaced the bulbs on them. So this whole float is 100% recycling, except the Grinch in the picture, and he was donated to us. So the kids really enjoy this. If you participate in our recycled ornament contest, you get to ride on this float if you win. So it's a fun thing we do every year for our community, and I think everyone enjoys it. We have a fog machine that fog goes out of the pipe and the wheels turn on it. So it's super fun, and it takes about a month to put this float together every year. Next is our poster board contest. We do a poster board contest twice a year in the schools. The litter grant helps us pay for quite a bit of this, but the students have a good time. And then we take the poster boards that they make, the winners, and we actually we copy it from our printing company and hang it on the fence out here. So you can see all the winners and what they designed on the poster board contest. So a lot of the kids end up coming out here with their parents to throw their trash away or drop recycling off, and they get to see their artwork on the fence here. We do a lot of other events also. We do National Planning Day, career fairs, playground cleanups, Read Across America, and game day recycling. A lot of these are through Keep America Beautiful or Keep Tennessee Beautiful, which is through Keep Chester County Beautiful. One of the projects we do with Keep Chester County Beautiful is Can You Dig This? We did it with the elementary school at East Chester. We had about 1,000 kids participate. That was a very fun, very long day. You take tires from our tire trailer and turn them into planters. We had ladybugs, frogs, minions. We do pigs. We do all different kinds of designs. A lot of the times if they're little, we will pre-paint the tires and then just take the dirt and flowers. But our high school participated one year and they got to create their own projects too. So that was a really fun project. We do career fairs at the high school. So every year we have a booth that we set up. So a lot of the kids are going to college, but some of them are going straight into the workforce. So we wanted them to know that they could work at the recycling hub and the solid waste department, and that was an option in their county. So we set up a booth there every year. We do a lot of playground cleanups at schools. You'd be surprised at the candy wrappers the kids find on the playground. One of the things about our cleanups is I can't take little kids out on the roadway to do cleanups. So we had to come up with a way for littler kids to be involved with litter cleanups. And this is one of the safer ways on the playground or at the city park, and they enjoy it. This is Read Across America week. We go into the library every year and read to they do a program at 10 o'clock every day of the year. So we go there and read a couple of times, and we also do the Can You Dig This Planner project with them as well. This is our game day recycling event at the high school with Benny and the cheerleaders. And then Benny does a whole dance with the cheerleaders so everyone can learn to recycle. We have summer programs. We visit the summer learning programs at our schools, and we visit the library every summer too. They do Touch a Truck, so we participate in that. This is the summer reading program that came out to tour at the classroom here at the hub. So we had a super good time with them. This is just another one of the visits we did at the library and Touch a Truck event. We do community events and festivals. This year I got a call. We have Free Hardeman University located in Henderson. That's about 5 minutes from here. And we had a group of about 35 college students come out and help us do service projects for the whole day. So that was really fun. They did a lot of litter cleanups and a lot of beautification projects that day. Over on the left, the older lady in the wheelchair, I had the best time going to our nursing home talking about recycling not too long ago. They were absolutely amazing group of people. So that was really, really fun to talk to them about recycling, because in our nursing home and our assisted living facilities here, we have recycling programs, and we tried to set it up so the senior citizens could recycle and make it easy for them. So I go in and work with them quite a bit, and they will make different projects out of recycling with us too. Like they'll do the Christmas ornament contest with us. And in a couple of weeks, we have a group of homeschool students coming in here to make recycled Valentine's cards. And then we take those cards to the senior center and the assisted living places and give those to the residents as well. This is our trash your size cleanup event through Keep Chester County Beautiful. We partnered with Keep Tennessee Beautiful to do this event. We had a group of high school students come. It was the FFA students that came. Basically, this is incorporating exercise and a litter cleanup. So we have this fun stretching music. We have someone leading us to do stretching. It makes it fun for high school students so they can kind of get into litter pickup, and it makes it a lot funner to have the music and the stretching and all that. And then after we stretch, we go divide up in groups, and we will load up in the van and go out and pick up litter on a roadway. And the kids have a really good time with it. We have the sheriff department involved because I do have 16, 17, and 18-year-olds cleaning up a roadway. The sheriff's department will sit on each end of the road just to make sure the kids are safe while they're doing their litter cleanups. The mayor participated in this one also. He's really good about coming to most of our litter cleanups and participating. This is our mayor in this picture. We did a proclamation that talked about securing your loads, and we gave out tarps, and this program was in partnership with Keep Chester County Beautiful, Keep Tennessee Beautiful, and TDOT. We bought tarps and gave out to all of our residents. And then, so the convenience centers are the most littered from people bringing their trash into the convenience center, and people were not tarping their loads, and we get tired of cleaning up litter at every convenience center across our county. So this is the program that we put into place to try to help residents get a free tarp to cover their pickup truck or their trailer to keep some of the litter off of our roadways. We've been doing this for about a year and a half now, and it's worked great. The first year, the state troopers department, when they were in this county, they would sit close to our convenience centers and give people tickets. So when you have that kind of enforcement, it helped a ton. So people would understand that they needed to tarp their loads, and we don't want litter on our roadways. and then it gets in the streams and waterways, and then it affects farmers' crops and everything else. So our mayor helped us put this into place, and it's been a great program so far. And this is just some more pictures of us at festivals, at the barbecue festival, and different things. This is our online video and educational toolkit. And you can Google Chester County, Tennessee and find this. We have the information about our recycling program. We have pictures of the hub, and we have a report litter button for our residents here. So if you want to get online and watch the video and see our toolkit, you're welcome to do that. During COVID, we had a huge problem going into the schools to be able to educate the kids. And I have an education coordinator here, and that's one of her main jobs is that, writing grants and handling the litter grant. And she was not able to go into the schools. So we came up with the water fountains. You use a reusable cup, and it saves plastic bottles from being landfilled if people were landfilling them instead of recycling them, and it counts the number of bottles that you're saving on the water fountains. So we put a water fountain in all 7 schools. Some of them got 2 water fountains if they were bigger schools, and the kids love them. And that's one way during COVID that we could educate students. They have Nobody Trashes Tennessee on the front of them because TDOT helped us sponsor those. And then they have a lot of facts on the front of them that you can't see in that picture that talks about litter prevention. Also during COVID, we came up with a PPE campaign. It's helped keep Chester County beautiful. We had a ton of masks and gloves and just, you know, wipes being thrown on the ground. So we did a whole Facebook social media program to try to help residents understand why they should not throw those on the ground. Another program that we do here with Keep America Beautiful and Keep Chester County Beautiful is the cigarette litter prevention program. It's Your Butt is Bigger Than You Think. We put this on a huge billboard in Henderson, and that Your Butt is Bigger Than You Think is really catchy. So it gets people's attention, and then they understand that cigarettes are litter too. We provide the cigarette bins, as you see on the right side, to all of our businesses here through the Keep America Beautiful grant, and that helps keep cigarette butts off of the roadways and sidewalks, and it helps actually keep our county more clean and beautiful. I think cigarette butts and lottery tickets when I'm doing cleanups is the biggest thing that I see while we clean up here, besides McDonald's bags and fast food bags. So we have won over 15 awards in the last 7 years for the programs that we do here. We've won 5 national awards out of those 15 awards as well. In 2022, we won the Governor's Environmental Stewardship Award for Environmental Education and Outreach, which is the program that I just went through. I covered the MRF, solid waste, and Keep Chester County Beautiful just a little bit. But I wanted to go through an education program for you guys because that's one of our bigger programs here. But that was really exciting that we won an award and got to go to the ceremony. And that is where I also met Lee to learn about Tennessee Women in Green, because I didn't know you guys existed until she was telling me about, you know, what you guys stand for and what you represent. So I'll actually learn a lot that day when we received that award. This is my contact info and our education coordinator. And I know I probably went through all 48 slides really quick, but I'll be more than happy to go back through them and take questions now and answer anything that you guys have or want to know.
Awesome. Thank you, Amber. We are getting some applause here. We do have, we've got about 10 minutes for questions. So I'll invite anyone on virtually to put your question in the chat or raise your hand if you'd like to ask your question directly to Amber, and I'll see if anyone in the room has any questions. Yes. Amber, did you hear that?
I did not. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. So the questions are 2 is what has been your favorite group to work with and what's been your favorite event that you've hosted?
Probably the favorite group is the senior citizens, because besides going into the nursing homes and the senior centers, they actually bring a tour bus and come out here every other year. And they have to be the funnest group of people that I've ever met in my life. I mean, some of them we have bales of recycling in our building, and they were trying to get on those and take pictures. And I'm like, you guys, you're going to break a bone if you crawl up there. So let's stay on the ground. That was probably my funnest people that I've worked with. Probably the funnest event we've ever held is the trash exercise with the high school kids. I mean, they dance and stretch, and I mean, there was a lot happening at that trash exercise. So it was super, super fun event that we did with them. So, but I love all my groups. I even love the preschoolers.
Awesome. Thanks, Amber. I see Karen has a question online. She asked if you've ever considered solar panels on your properties.
We have, but so everything we do here is pretty much grant funded. Our education and outreach program is 100% grant funded. The West Tennessee Regional Recycling Hub is grant funded. It doesn't cost the taxpayers any money in this county. We actually run that facility from the sale of recycling and a fee that we charge the people coming here that bring single stream. So if we did use solar panels, we would have to have a grant. A lot of the grants that I found for solar panels are 50-50 match. So we have a 20% match here. So we can do the 20% match, but when you get up to 50%, this county does not really want to do a 50% match. Unless it covered a massive area. And I haven't seen a grant yet that big to cover what we would need here. So yes, we do look at that and we're trying. We're just not there yet.
Thanks, Amber. We have another question from in person from Maris.
Hi, Amber.
Hi.
I have a question as well. First one is, what was the process like getting back into normalcy after the COVID pandemic and getting back into, getting people involved again? Because I feel like that's still a huge problem. And then number
I did not. I've only heard part of the question. Do you?
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'll repeat that.
Okay.
So you were asking if there are any programs that serve marginalized or underserved communities within your area, and then how have you been engaging people after COVID, knowing it's been harder to get people kind of back engaged into these programs?
So we do. So this county we're really rural. So we have a lot of underserved population here, especially with our school system. Not sure what the levels of the school system are, but we're on the lower level. So that's why we do a lot of programs with our schools. And we do have community projects and HUD housing and stuff. It's different here because we're such a rural community. You don't really see that. You see a group of people coming together, it doesn't matter what community they're in. And we clean up all different parts of Chester County when we do our cleanups and stuff. So, I mean, we don't specialize in one area. We just pick the road that's the dirtiest and we clean it up. So a lot of those programs, so there's a lot of grants for that too. But some of that stuff we qualify for and some of it we don't. But the mayor is really good about helping out with that and organizing some of the cleanups and stuff that we do in those areas. I think bigger cities have more trouble with that because we don't really have issues here. And then what was the second part of that question? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. The second part was after COVID, how have you been successfully re-engaging people with your programs?
So that took some time. We have just been able to go back into our schools last year. We did a lot of social media. I've done a lot of Zoom calls for our community, and you would be surprised at the residents that'll jump on a Zoom call with you and call in because they have questions and they want to know what's recycling, what's not. They would stop by the office and stand outside because I'm okay with going outside and talking to anybody. So we had a lot of that going on with the kids. It's been harder. I actually did a Zoom conference into a classroom during COVID. I think we did 4 of those to talk to students during a whole class period. And then we actually did videos from our classroom once a week with each station. So we did that for 8 or 10 weeks. And then the teachers, we would email it to them and they would actually play it in their classroom And they would send me pictures of back of the classroom with the video playing in the front and the students watching that video. So we came up with different ways to kind of get into the classroom. I would drop kids off at the school, you know, if they wanted to do a craft project with recycling or something also for the elementary schools. And we would just leave it on the doorstep. And then the teacher for that period would grab it whenever she was ready for it. So that's some of the different ways that we kind of worked through COVID and how to get people back into that. Like I said, we're a really rural community and we have a good, I guess small towns are good for knowing things quickly. So people just kind of knew when we were open and they just come and started doing tours. You know, we opened tours because the MRF is so big. Instead of going in the classroom, we would take them in the MRF because, you know, it's a huge space and everybody could spread out and be 6 feet apart. We didn't really bring kids in until this last year when the schools were clear to come, but we did work with a lot of adults, elected officials. We have a lot of elected officials in other counties that's trying to start programs for recycling, like Dyersburg. You know, they've been here, Bartlett's been here. So we did a lot of adult tours coming out of COVID instead of students. So now we're kind of swapping back into students as well. So hopefully we'll have more tours set up this spring. I think the teachers are ready to get the kids out of the classroom too.
Looking for a
So,
break. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Amber, we have a couple more questions. So Shalini asked if you're aware of any similar programs in Davidson County that collaborate with the Metro Nashville Public Schools.
Turnip Greene, I'm aware of what they do, and I'm aware of what Metro Nashville does. And I can't think of the lady over those programs, but I've met her. She does an excellent job with her group going into the schools and educate students. I've sat through their presentations and I am aware of what they do. Was that the question though? I'm not sure that was the question.
Yeah, we think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
They have an excellent program. At a Keep Tennessee Beautiful conference right before COVID, I got to speak. I think her name, is it Kelly? I'm not sure what her name is, but I got to speak behind her. So her and I were comparing our education programs. So yeah, it was super fun to meet her.
Kelly Tipler, is that?
That's it. That's her.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her. Yep.
Awesome. All right. And our last question, are there other schools that do composting besides the one that you showed in the presentation?
Our junior high and high school both do it. The high school has a similar setup where they do the worm composting and they'll take their cafeteria food and put out there. And it's pretty huge. I just don't have pictures of it. We actually got the bins from the Kathy Galapa and the OSP office for TWIG. I'm not sure what they've named it now. It has a new name and that's not what it's called. But back then they gave us the bins for those schools to get started. And then the local worm farm here actually donated all the worms for free for those kids to get those programs started. So that was really amazing. So those are the only 2 schools that we have now. I'm not sure that we could do it with our elementary schools because they're going to do more playing with the worms than, you know, in the food composting. So I don't know that we haven't got that far yet with it. So,
awesome. And we did actually have one more question that I missed in person. So
okay.
yeah, so the question was, you talked about the water refill stations to eliminate single-use water bottles, and we're wondering if you have incorporated a bigger vision around eliminating all single-use plastic as a part of this programming, and if so, what that looks like.
So we're working towards that here. We are looking at putting those fountains in our courthouse and some of our county office buildings. A lot of our businesses have called me about those water fountains and the composting bins as well, and the cigarette litter prevention ashtrays. So we do work with tons of businesses on those programs as well to implement it countywide. However, the businesses would buy their own. The county can provide through the litter grant and through some other grants, you know, the county offices and anything that's county affiliated like our schools. But you would be surprised at how many businesses actually call us, say, hey, how did you implement this program? Where did you get it from? We're interested in either partnering with you guys or doing our own program. So yes, we are working towards having water fountains in all our county office buildings. It just takes some time, just like all the other programs that we have here. We run a cardboard route for the whole county. We pick up from 196 businesses here in this county. A lot of them are small businesses, but we pick up cardboard, paper, plastic, and aluminum, and we provide that service here for free. And then we bring it back and process it here at the MARC. So we do have a lot of different programs that I haven't talked about. I'll be here for 3 hours if I talk about everything that we do here. So, does anybody
Awesome.
else have any more questions?
We do actually have one more, yes. Yeah, so the question was, counties vary a lot for what can go into curbside recycling, and that can cause some confusion with people. So what have you found that works to educate people in their household for what can appropriately go into their curbside recycling bin?
The best thing that I found is social media for a select group of people. Your 9-to-5 working moms and dads get on Facebook, social media a lot, so we use that. We have it to where it's set up, they can email in and ask questions if something's recyclable or not. And we're working towards the app here that this county and the 13 cities and counties that I partner with would use. So if someone had a question, they could snap a picture, send it into the app, and then, we could go from there. So we're working on a grant for that. But that's the biggest way that I found to get to residents is social media and our website. We do a lot of community events. We have little communities like Enville, Sweet Lips that we actually have community centers at. And I go to those community centers with our mayor almost every other month. And we talk about what we recycle, why it's recyclable, getting into plastics with people and educating plastics 1 through 7. And we only take 1 and 2s here. So, there's a lot of education we do on plastics. But those are the 2 biggest things for rural Chester County that works. It's the community centers and social media. And then we do county commissioner meetings. I set up for an hour and a half and educated our county commissioners, a couple months ago. And then everyone that attended that meeting got the pleasure of listening to me talk for an hour and a half. So, but that's what we focus on now. I don't really have any other ideas on how to get to those people besides community festivals and events. But then when we have a festival here, we get people from the other cities and counties where we partner with, which is good because we set the mobile classroom up. So we get to educate them as well at events and festivals and stuff. So it's pretty fun to get to know what counties people are from and that they recycle, and then they find out their recycling comes here. So yeah, it kind of connects the dots and pieces for them. And I think that's the biggest thing. When you have a program, people want to make sure you're recycling it right and it's actually being recycled and processed and not sent to the landfill. And then they end up coming here and touring. So it kind of does the full circle for them. So.
Great. Thanks, Amber. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us and kicking us off in the new year. This was an awesome presentation. I think we all learned a lot. So let's give Amber another round of applause.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. And as a thank you for presenting to TWIG this morning, we are going to be sending you a small gift in the mail. It's a Tennessee cultured pearl necklace, and that represents the good work that TWIG members inspire to support a healthy planet. So look for that coming your way soon.
Oh, thank you so much. And again, I appreciate you having me, and I'm sorry I could not be there in person.
Of course, we understand. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to our president, Elaine Boyd, to do some announcements.
Thank you again, Amber. And I think the phrase, "your butt is bigger than you think," will be in my head when I go to the gym today. So thank you for that. Before I do the announcements, I want to thank the board who has just been fabulous, our 2023 board. So when I call out your name, please stand, wave something. Rachel Slava, Erica Moore, Jennifer Tribble, Diane Scher, who is she in here? Kelly Merritt, Shalini Gupta, Brooke Ellis, and Tara Ashley is on Zoom. and Catherine Bombay, who could not be here. And I also want to recognize our past president. She thinks she's rolled off the board, but I think I'm gonna make a change in the bylaws, Renee Barker, so she'll still be part of our group. Thank you all. And also a shout out to Bongo Java for sponsoring the coffee for us this morning. So we always like to remind people of our mission, which is to empower, inspire, and connect women. And we're so glad we're connecting in person again, who are committed to environmental sustainability. Thank you for helping us achieve that mission every time you participate in a TWIG event. Huge thank you to our sponsors. We could not do this without our sponsors. We've got plenty of room to add to this screen. So if you or your organization would like to be a sponsor, please go to our website, contact us. We'd love to have you up here. Thank you to our new and renewing members. Is there anybody here who just joined TWIG? Yay, welcome. So we'd love to have more new and renewing members. Please invite somebody to come with you if they want to check us out before they join. Bring somebody with you next month. We'd love to have more people. And Diane, do you have a? Oh, yeah. Oh, yay. Good question. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. And please invite others to join us. So this is a great way to help us out, is to designate TWIG as your organization of choice for the Kroger Rewards program. It's a really easy process. You go to their website, you select us, and then we get a little piece of joy from your shopping at Kroger's each month. So remember that. A couple of community events. The Mayor's Sustainability Advisory Committee has a photo contest. So if you're a photographer, or you know somebody who is, this is a great opportunity. I think it goes through February 15th. It's already started. I think they started in December. But please go to that website and learn more about the different categories. It's a number of categories that they're considering. And then this is a Greene Schools Conference. All things of Greene Schools is going to be covered at this conference, and it's in New Orleans. Might be nice. February 27th through March 1st. And I believe the deadline for registration is next Friday. So if you're interested in this, please go to the website to get more information. We just really appreciate, you all don't know how much we've anticipated this morning, and we are so delighted that you all joined us online and that you all joined us in person. And of course, we'll be doing the hybrid going forward, but we hope to see all of you and more back next month and the months to come on the first Friday. So thank you for choosing to spend your first Friday in 2023 with TWIG. Don't forget all the different ways to connect with us, and have a great rest of the day and rest of the week. And the board members, if we could real quickly meet at the sign so we can take a quick picture. Dan, we might use you as our photographer. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thanks, Elaine. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Great meeting. Well done. Bye-bye.